look at like my figures next, I think. First one we're going to talk about is I have the Red Hood and the Outlaws articulated figure that they made a couple of years ago. This was bought for me by my boy. So I wasn't the biggest fan of Red Hood and the Outlaws in the beginning. Like a lot of other people, I wasn't a big fan of some of the changes they were making to Starfire's characterization. I've been told that the series does get a lot better in terms of Starfire's characterization. I will read it at some point, but I love this figure either way, just because I think that first off, she's really nicely articulated, so you can really kind of, you know, play around with some Starfire poses. I love the one arm with a fist. I think that's really expressive. Her face mold is really pretty as well. Sometimes for smaller figures like this, especially for female figures, the face will be a little rough. And most importantly, this figure, of the ones I have, has the most beautiful hair for Starfire. This is my favorite version of the flame hair, the way it swoops down like this and then like lightens up, but then there's that little bit of the darker at the end. I think this figure's hair is stunning. And then I also have the Teen Titans Go Starfire pop figure. I don't have a lot of pop vinyls, just because I feel like if I go down that rabbit hole, I'm never going to stop. I know people that have so many of them, and I respect it. I get that that's their thing that they love, but it's like, I'm like, nope, I'm just going to get the Starfire one. I think she's adorable. I like Teen Titans Go. I get why other people don't. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. Is it as good as the original show? No, but it has a soft spot in my heart. And either way, it's basically, you know, regular animated Corey design. So next up, I have the Women of the DC Universe bust of Starfire. This is number 2,929 of 4,200 pieces. This was a figure that I really wanted for a while, just because I think that the pose is beautiful. Just the fact that she looks so joyful is really nice. And this is also one of the only figures you're going to see that has that original kind of yellow gold that Starfire used to be, because we always think of Starfire as being orange now, but if you read the first comic she was in, they actually refer to her far more often as golden, and in the original comics run, she's colored much closer to being yellow than to being orange. That kind of evolved into the orange. I think it's kind of cool just to have a figure that is a little bit different. I scored her on eBay for like 25 bucks. I remember like I saw the auction and was like, I have to try, and then no one bid over me and I got her. And then of my figures, obviously the biggest deal, the biggest one that I have is my DC CoverGirls Starfire, which was sent to me by DC themselves, because what is my life? And I think it's really a beautiful, beautiful figure. I think that the way they do her hair on this figure is also beautiful, because it goes from solid to that kind of translucent to this clear flame on the bottom. And this is AP 39 of 5,200, so this was like one of their like press copies they had, I guess, which is really cool. And I love this figure not only because of the figure itself, but because of the level of like validation that being sent this made me feel, of like DC knows that I exist, and not only do they know that I exist, they like listen to, you know. I think that it's very easy to assume that, you know, larger companies, larger publishing companies don't care about their customers on an individual basis, and I'm sure it's probably impossible to know every single fan, but they liked my videos. They really listened to what I said in my videos, because Starfire has always been my favorite. I talk about Starfire the most, and they listened and they sent me, and like they sent me a Cascane volume the other day, because I talk about liking Cascane, and I've posted like a whole bunch of pictures of my Cascane run stuff that I like, and it just really goes to show why I think DC is so special, because there is that sense of a camaraderie, you know. It's like we're all nerds, we're all geeks, we're all collecting figures of comic book characters. And then a couple last things that are not figures or issues, but things that I feel like are worth mentioning of what I have in my collection now. So first I want to show you this beautiful, beautiful Christmas card with 80s Starfire on it. This was sent to me by one of my dear friends. She's a pinup artist named Becca Whitaker. I will put a link to her stuff down in the bottom. She is phenomenal and a complete sweetie pie. So she, hand drew me a Starfire Christmas card. I think that the art of that is beautiful. She's actually used me as a reference model for a couple of her pinups, which is pretty cool. She's like the sweetest human being on the planet, and her art is wonderful, and you should check her out. But this is one of the pieces that makes me smile the most, just because it's, the thought that went into it, and it's just also really freaking cute. So I have 2 of these Key West postcards that they were giving out before the Starfire run came out. I have one that's blank and pristine, and then I have one that is signed by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, who were writing and illustrating this series. They were having a signing at San Diego Comic-Con when I went, and I was wearing my Starfire costume that I had made. Now this was like issue 1 had come out, but that was it. So this series was brand new. No one had really cosplayed her yet. I didn't run into anybody else in that costume there. A lot of other people have done it since and look super cute in it, but I was like one of the early people to jump on that costume. And I didn't have like the upgraded wig yet, but I just really wanted to go, and I really wanted to let them know how much I really loved what they were doing with the character so far. And it was really funny because it was a line of like all these people at the signing were there for Harley stuff. Like pretty much everyone there was trying to get like a Harley book signed, and I went up and they were kind of like, oh, hi! And it was really cute, and they really liked my costume, and it was kind of nice. Like Amanda wanted to know like what stuff was made out of, and Jimmy drew little hearts on mine, and they were really nice. And the DC Twitter tweeted a picture of us together, and I'm really sad that this run is coming to an end, but I've had so many great experiences because of it, and it makes me really happy just to have kind of been a part of that and have experienced that. And I actually do kind of like her new costume for the Rebirth Titans, so that makes 6 versions that I want to cosplay now, I think. Yeah, I might have a problem. And then last of the stuff that I have now, I have a print, like just a Starfire printout that is signed to me by Hynden Walch, who is Starfire's voice actress on Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. I got to meet her at Comikaze, I believe 2 years ago now. Like I wanted to, I was like, even if I just get to go up and meet her. But I got a picture signed, and I went up, I was in my animated Starfire costume, and she saw me and went like, hello Starfire, in her Starfire voice, and she was so sweet and so genuine, and like I was trying not to be a pathetic emotional dork, but I totally started to tear up and was like telling her like Starfire really means so much to me. She's like got me through so much stuff. She's essentially saved my life, and thank you so much for being a part of that. She was really sweet about it, and was like, I know that you mean a lot to her too, which was adorable. Like she definitely kind of talked about her like Starfire was a separate person, which was really sweet. And then she signed it to Starfire with love from the other Starfire, which I just think is the cutest thing. And I really want to get this framed up really nice. I want to get like a matted frame, possibly a purple one for this. Like I want to get these guys framed so that when I do start my wall, I can have them like hung up and mounted and really display everything the way that I feel like everything deserves to be displayed, because Starfire genuinely means so much to me, and she really has got me through some stuff. Like that sounds lame, but in a way sometimes I feel like Starfire kind of saved my life. So for me, collecting this stuff isn't necessarily about like having stuff or having bragging rights or anything like that. It's about having pieces of her with me and around me, so that when I have those moments and when I have those dark times I've talked about on this channel, some of the struggles I've gone through with depression, having pieces of her around me and with me really helps remind me to stay positive, and really helps remind me to feel that joy about life that she feels about everything, and what would she have done in this situation. And she helps me to be strong, but she helps me to be soft at the same time, and she just really means a lot to me. So it's much more about keeping a piece of her with me and feeling like Starfire is kind of a presence in my life in some way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but she's just really special to me. So that's why Starfire is the character that I collect, and there's still some other things that I do want to get and add to the collection, so I'm going to talk about that really quick, just so I can kind of hold myself to it. And then also, like, if you guys see like a super cheap like eBay auction for one of these things, then, you know, message me so I can continue this very adult habit that I have.